All right, so Kevin Durant, and this is where we do agree. Now we'll get to some disagreement that we'll have later, but this is where we do agree. All right, Kevin Durant, he was a culture creator. He was a culture creator in Brooklyn. I guess he was sort of a culture creator in Oklahoma City, but maybe that's that. Do you give Sam Presti and that front office their mentality? Do you give them credit for, bringing in Durant and Westbrook and Serge Ibaka and all, their whole system? Is that the culture, or did Durant create the culture? I don't know. Kind of in Oklahoma City, definitely in Brooklyn. But the one place where he was not a culture creator, the culture absorbed him, that was Golden State. So he had the most success when he was not responsible for setting the culture. They told him what it was. And he came in and he thrived. He was awesome. He was awesome. Natalie, I don't know if you ever heard me say this. I believe this to my core. The best basketball team I've ever seen in my life, in my lifetime, best basketball team ever. Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. Take your pick. Probably 2017. Take your pick. They just had more than anybody. That I've never seen anybody play like that offensively and defensively at just an elite level. Perfect. Played basketball the right way. Explosive players, but shared the ball. Great defense. Great depth. Great coaching. I just love what Kevin Durant brought to that Warriors team. But now, I don't know. You answer this question for me. You saw him up close. You really are a Warriors guru. I don't know what he's searching for. I'm being serious here. I don't know what he's looking for on his basketball journey here. You tell me, what is it? Because it's just weird to watch this whole thing play out.
Yeah, I can't really answer that for Kevin, because obviously I don't know him personally. And he has like a really interesting relationship with the media, right? So,
Yeah.
like sometimes he talks, sometimes he doesn't, and then he's like critical of things. So it's really hard to say. But I mean, from the sources that I think are reliable, I think, if you look at OKC, I think it's interesting what you said about him being a culture setter, because I would actually say that he probably hasn't set a culture anywhere he's been. He didn't have to in Golden State, but I would say the culture in OKC probably once Russ came more revolved around Russ. And I think in Brooklyn, Kevin Durant just wants to hoop, right? He wants to show up and he wants to hoop. And he said in Golden State, like, I'm not here to lead. I don't want to be a leader. Steph's the leader. And so I don't think that's really his thing, to like go in and set the tone and lead the franchise and kind of say, this is how we're going to be. But I think that we expect that of our superstars, right? And of the best in the league, that's what we expect them to do. And I think that's probably the disconnect. He's not that person, and that's okay, because not everyone is meant to be a leader in that way, right? He's meant to go out and perform and be great. But I do think they need someone to be a culture setter in Brooklyn that the players will respect and listen to. And it may not be Steve Nash. I don't know who that is. I was just having this discussion on my podcast the other day, but maybe it's someone like a Patty Mills. Like, I know that he's like a sixth man or comes off the bench, but he's come from an organization. I say that only because he's come from the Spurs. He's come from the Spurs. He's come from a winning organization. He has won. I'm just saying, I don't know who that player is. It's not going to be Kyrie Irving. We know that, right? And those are the two best players on the team. It's not going to be Ben Simmons. So it's like by default, we're saying it has to be Kevin Durant, but that's not his personality. I think Kevin just wants to go out and hoop. That's what I think he wants to do. He wants to go out and hoop and be regarded as one of the best, if not the best.
But, if I like the way you said that, if he just wants the ball, and that's okay. That's okay. You can do that in certain situations. It worked in Oakland/San Francisco. They shouldn't have moved from Oakland. Anyway, it worked out there.
Agreed.
And so you can do it if you've got the right personnel on your team. If you've got Draymond and you've got Steph and you've got Clay and you got leadership that says, okay, we got enough, or we don't need you to do everything. Just go out there and score your 30 points per game in the NBA Finals or more. Go ahead and do your thing, and we got you on the rest of the stuff. in Brooklyn, that would see, like, if what you say is true, he should be fine, right? If what you say is true, if he just wants to hoop, and now he's not, if they're not trading him right now, if you look at their team is pretty good. Now,
yeah, I agree.
I think they're wired in a way where they can't win a championship. That's a different story. Just like personality-wise. But personnel-wise, they're good. They're good. So if Kevin Durant just goes and plays ball and doesn't worry about if Sean Marks is still the GM, doesn't worry about what Steve Nash is doing as a head coach, doesn't worry about anything else, doesn't worry about the media, doesn't worry about what Charles Barkley is saying or what Natalie is saying or anybody else, you would think that this is going to work. But I don't think he just wants to hoop.
What do you think?
I don't think he wants to anymore. I think he.
You don't think he wants to hoop anymore?
No, I think not just. I think, of course, he still wants to play. But when he said that in that press conference, he was complaining about who's the guy? Ethan Strauss, whatever, some reporter out in Golden State. Mm-hmm. He was complaining about him. He comes in. This guy comes in writing all the time. I just want to play ball and go home. I think he was just frustrated. But I don't think he wants to just play ball and go home. Look, just like Kobe, when Kobe, rest in peace, when Kobe won his fifth championship, he was like, there's one more than Shaq. I got one more than Shaq.
Right.
When Jordan won 6, what did he do? See that famous picture? He's going around going 6.
Of course.
I got 6. I think Kevin Durant wants the ball, but he wants to be a champion. I think there's a count in his head. I think he wants to he wants the ball, but he wants to win a championship too. I think he wants to stay in this conversation. He doesn't want to hear people like Natalie saying that Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA, or now that Steph has won a Finals MVP and Steph has 4 championships now Steph's on LeBron's level. You heard that a lot after the Warriors won. I think that bothers him. So yeah, he wants the ball, but I think he wants the ball, and I think he wants a little bit more than that. Maybe he wants to be seen as a leader on his terms. Maybe he doesn't lead like LeBron leads, doesn't lead like Giannis leads, but I think he wants to be seen as something other than just a very talented freak of a ball player.
Yeah, so when I say he wants to hoop, of course he wants to win, right? Like, that's why he was asking to get traded. But he wants to do it on his terms, right? Like, Kevin Durant and I don't think so. I mean, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they have a certain brand of basketball they like to play, right? And like, before he came to Golden State and initially, he was all in on like the type of basketball that they played, right? But over time, he didn't enjoy that. Like, he wants you to put the ball in his hand and let him go work. You know, that's what he wants to do. And I don't know that that's the way that him and Kyrie want to play is a conducive, style of basketball, right? And so when I was on before, I brought up, like, they let a coach like Kenny Atkinson go. And I get it that he didn't have like the background of like winning championships and all of that, but he's an experienced coach, a very experienced coach. Yeah. And I think that he would have done a lot more to put like an actual structure and system in place to help them go play a brand of basketball that would be conducive to winning, right? I think Steve Nash came in and it was just like, yeah, I'm the coach, but basically Kyrie and Kevin Durant get to do what they want to do.
I'm smiling because the irony is just perfect. You mentioned Atkinson, and Atkinson, not only did Steph Curry win a championship without Durant in the summer, so did Kenny Atkinson. And Atkinson takes it to another level. Atkinson is offered a head coaching job, accepts it, and then said, nah. I'm going to stay right here. I like this thing we got going. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.